Hey, this is journal page 36, lesson 2.3, subtracting rational numbers. It says subtract right fractions in simplest form. So number one, we have 4 over 9 minus a negative 2 over 9. Well, that was kind of them to give us common denominators on this first one. We take those two minuses, or that two negatives, or the minus and a negative, whatever you want to call it, we make it one big plus, and now this just becomes 4/9 plus 2/9, which is 6/9, which is 2/3. Because it does say simplify. Number two. Negative 2 3/7 minus 1 2/3. First thing I'm going to do is turn these into improper fractions. So 14, 15, 16, 17 sevenths, negative of course, minus 3, 4, 5 thirds. Now I'm going to turn them into common denominators. 21 will work very well. I multiplied by 3 here, so I multiply by 3 on the top, which would be 30 and 21, 51. Multiplied by 7 here, 7 on the top, 35. And now I have negative 51 21st minus 35 21st. But remember, when we look at these, there are two terms here, and they take the sign that is in front of them. So this becomes negative 51 21st and negative 35 21st. We're combining. They are same sign, so we add, and we would get 86 on top, 21 on the bottom. Add and keep. So the keep part is the negative. You can leave this as 86, negative 86 over 21. It can't be simplified. Nothing goes into both of those other than 1. If you want to go mixed number, negative 4 and 2 21st. Number 3. Negative 2 35 hundredths minus a negative 1 27 hundredths. I take those two minuses, make them a plus, and now I have two terms here. Negative 2 35 hundredths, positive 1 27 hundredths. Different signs subtract. When I subtract those, I would get 1 8 hundredth, and keep the sign of the larger absolute value, which would be the negative in this case, negative 1.8. Negative 1 8 hundredths. Number 4. This says find the distance between the two numbers on a number line. When you find the distance between two numbers on a number line, you subtract the numbers. But our answer always has to be positive because distances must be positive. So let's just write these two numbers with a subtraction sign between them. Negative 3 1/4 minus negative 6 1/2. Well, I take those two, make it this. Different signs. I got a negative here and a positive here, so I subtract, get 3 1/4. Well, let's turn them into improper fractions. 12 13. So I have negative 13 over 4 plus 13 over 2. Common denominator would be 4, so negative 13 over 4 plus, multiply the bottom by 2, multiply the top by 2, 26. Different signs, so I subtract. 26 fourths minus 13 fourths is 13 fourths. You can leave it 13 fourths. You could turn that into 3 1/4, but it's going to be positive no matter what. Even if it doesn't matter, if it's a distance, it must be positive. 3 1/4. Number 5. Negative 1.5 minus a positive 2.8. These are both negatives. If we look at them this way, negative 1.5, negative 2.8. So same sign, add and keep. So it would be 4.3, keep it negative. Wait a minute. This is a distance. Doesn't matter. This is a positive 4 3/10 because it's a distance. Negative 4 minus a negative 7 1/3. Turn those two negatives into a big plus. Different sign, so I'm subtracting. I know 7 1/3 minus 4 would be 3 1/3. And it would stay positive because it's a distance. Number 7. 2 1/2 plus negative 7/6 minus 1 3/4. I'm going to turn them all into improper fractions. This one already is, but 4 5 halves plus negative 7/6 minus 4 5 6 7/4. A common denominator here, 12 works well. They all go into 12. And so this is 12 plus negative something over 12 minus something over 12. I multiply by 6 on the bottom. I multiply 6 on the top. I get 30. I multiply by 2 on the bottom. I multiply by 2 on the top and get 14. I multiply by 3 on the bottom. I multiply by 3 on the top and get 21. Well, I've got a negative, and a positive. I'm going to put my two negatives together first, and that would be negative 14/12 and negative 21/12 would give me negative 35/12. Negative 35/12 plus this positive 30/12. So negative 35/12. Let's just write it down here. So that would leave me with the 30/12 plus a negative, because I combine these two negatives, same sign, add and keep, 35/12. And now, different sign, subtract. Keep the sign of the larger. The negative 35/12 is bigger than the 30/12, so it stays negative. There we go. That's not a distance on a number line, so that one can be negative. Number 8. Two and 37/100 minus a negative 1 and 55/100 minus 2 and 48/100. Well, I'm going to take these and make it a big plus here. And now I'm going to, I've got a positive, and a negative. I'm going to combine my two positives first. Same sign, add and keep. 2, 9, decimal 3. This is hanging around still. Now I have a positive and a negative. Different sign, subtract. I'll do the subtraction over here. 3 and 92/100 minus 2 and 48/100. 4 decimal 1. And the positive one is the larger, so it will just stay 1 and 44/100. Last one, number 9. Your friend drinks 2/3 of a bottle of water. You drink 5/7 of a bottle of water. Find the difference, subtract, of the amounts of water left in each bottle. Left in each bottle. How much is left in each bottle? Well, if your friend drank 2/3 of a bottle of water, they left 1/3 in the bottle of water. If you drank 5/7, you left 2/7. There were 7/7 in there. You drank 5/7, leaving 2/7. We'll subtract those two to find their difference. So we have to find a common denominator. 21 will work just fine. Multiply by 7, multiply by 7, 7. Multiply by 3, 6. 7/21 minus 6/21 is 1/21. There's 1/21 difference of the amounts of water left in each bottle. If you have any questions, please come to tutoring, ask in class, send me an email, put a comment on this YouTube, whatever you need to do to get those questions answered. Have a wonderful night.